And it's me, not John Crump. This is John Crump Live with John Crump. Well, he's live, but he's just not here. So you are getting hosted today by Flying Rich, and we have Chris from the 740 joining us. Now, Chris had to delay his regularly scheduled tornado to be able to appear. Chris, thank you for joining us.
You're muted. You turned the camera on that fast. Yeah, that was pretty wild. We finally made this work.
Yeah. Oh gosh. Well, all right. So I've been trying to get Chris on for a while, and I think I brain farted. Like it's like, hey, Thursday. Okay, Thursday. That was like 3 weeks ago, and then Chris, double booked with a tornado. So the tornado won. So, who do we got? We got Jordan Vinro. Jordan Vinro showing some love. I saw Putang in earlier. Let's see. Who else do we have here? I got Johnny 3 Bar. Yep, there's Putang. Wow, much love. You're getting a lot of love from the guys. Yeah. So, Chris, you don't 3D print guns or anything like that. You're not.
No, I have not got into that yet. Or
you're not doing the 80% lifestyle, huh? Or 0% lifestyle.
I've built a couple 80%ers. I've just never got into the 3D printing stuff.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No, cool. Yeah, because we just had a little bit of news today. Not big news. It's not like somebody would say breaking, 5-4 decision at Supreme Court and have Joe Biden with flames behind him or something like that. I'm not making fun of any other legally armed channel or armed scholarly channel. That's what I meant to say. But yeah, so the Supreme Court is taking up the frame and receiver rule. In case you didn't see the video earlier or the audience, so I'm talking in general. What that means is right now, the only frame and receiver anybody cares or doesn't care about or is mad at is apparently plastic ones that are like a Glock. So any other frame and receiver is okay, fine. And the ATF says, hey, we didn't understand our own rule, and our own rule says everything is okay, except if it's a plastic Glock receiver, then that's not okay. And that's what our rule says.
Because plastic Glocks are easy, and we don't want easy when it comes to building modern firearms. Yes, correct.
In other words, you got to like mine the ore yourself.
Hello.
See, you scared Chris away. Look at that.
I know. Can you believe it?
What's going on, man?
Long time no see, bud.
Been a while.
What's up, dude? With the cool wall, says Frag Out Design. That is a mighty cool wall. Is that a just out of curiosity? Let's take a look. Let's honor that wall for a moment. Dang. Okay, so I was actually considering getting a it's like a weathered wood slat wall like that. Is that what your setup is?
Yeah, that's basically just like shiplapping it.
Nice.
Did the ceiling like in a different color and then the walls. So
okay.
I did 2 of the walls and shiplap, and then we drywalled the other 2 walls. So
dude, it looks great.
So the red furniture on that gun, is that Timber Creek stuff?
Some of it is, yeah. Yeah. That was actually my original AR. I think the only thing left original on that is the lower. Sounds like my first one I ever got. So
I got rid of the first one I ever had because I got really upset at it after I put a big hole through 6 walls in my house. It's another story for another time. Rich, go ahead. I know you were in the middle of stuff.
No, now I have no clue what I was doing. Chris and I were just chit-chatting. Chris, you went to SHOT Show this past year, right?
Yeah.
Did you see Dark there?
I did not.
No, huh?
And from your videos, a lot of other people didn't see him there either.
Well, here's the plot twist. I was there. Just kidding. No, I wasn't. Yeah, I didn't make it. How was SHOT Show? What was your goal this year for SHOT Show? What did you want to achieve?
I actually just wanted to enjoy it this year because 3 was nuts. That was my first one, and it was like I went in there like hitting the ground running, like I got to do this interview, get over here, do this, do that. And then when I was flying home, I'm like, I didn't even enjoy that. Like it was just like, so this year was a lot more fun for me because I already had a lot of relationships established with the company. So I wanted to spend more time like just going over and shaking hands with those guys and them, and got to go to a lot of the dinners and the parties and stuff this year afterwards. And
that is
nice.
Fun spending spending an evening with all the guys over there at Gideon, and it was it was great. Night and day different between 23 and 24. So
shout out to Gideon. Those guys are awesome. Dude, I was really impressed with the judge. I mean, I've had a great time with all their stuff so far. The alpha has been super solid. I actually don't know any human that's been able to break an alpha, so I'm curious if maybe the different the way that it's built is different. By the way, shout out to Razor JB, aka Mr. Replay Mafia himself, aka Mr. Geisley Super Duty himself.
Total chat.
Yeah, he's awesome. Great to see it. But the mediator is awesome. I got that on a Noveski Geisley BCM build that I use the shout out to Frag Out Designs. I use the Frag Out upper and lower on that, and that thing is awesome. And the judge I threw on the 365 build, and that thing is pretty awesome. So yeah, they're great people to spend time with. I'm sure you had a blast with them.
Yeah, I was excited. I think it was Friday. They finally got the judge restocked in the green dot. So I got a couple of those on the way. I think Factor got my shipping notice earlier. They're going to be here tomorrow. So
nice.
So
well, you're
one of
only
the
a state
judges will
away.
go, huh?
You're only one state away.
Yeah, that's right. They're in Pennsylvania, aren't they?
They could just throw it hard and get to you.
Yeah.
So the judge is going to go on the new T-Saws I just got, the Night Stalker, and
nice.
I think that's going to be a pretty good fit for it.
Nice. That's awesome. Yeah, it's good. Going to SHOT Show and just kind of taking it a little bit more laid back is good. It's always good to go and just kiss hands, shake babies, and just kind of relax and take it easy.
Well, I think what I'm gonna do. I've been away from the strip, and that's kind of a pain in the ass. So I think I'm gonna do like Crump did. Next year I'm gonna try and stay right, nearby walking distance, like super short walking distance.
Yeah.
Because I think that'll make it more efficient, because it's worth, instead of losing 20 plus minutes and choreographing how to get there. I think they'd go a lot better. Maybe Dark 2025 you'll go.
Maybe we'll see. I don't know. I just loved all those videos last time. It's like maybe I'll skip it again.
I got a new plan for my next Dark harassment video.
I bet you do. You never run out. Shout out to Vanessa Kitty, Johnny
BK.
Barr, Polar Knights, all you guys and gals, CNC Designs and Arms. He says, Chris, sup perp, and Brothers DLD and Rich, 25 months.
He says perfect evolution of beard growth. So nothing dark, and then
it's actually getting pretty long. I don't know if you can tell. It's hard. I actually have natural light for once shining into the gun room. So I had natural light coming in I just did a YouTube short. Guys, don't look. I'm trying to keep my YouTube channel as private as possible. I don't want anyone to see the content that I'm posting. And YouTube agrees with me. They actually just limited.
They feel the same way.
They feel the same way. They just limited a short I just published of 2 Glocks. And they disabled the comments, but 3 times.
I was
but
able to comment.
Apparently they're back on now, so that's good. But I would love to kind of learn. I haven't checked on your channel in a little bit, Chris. So I would love to kind of learn about.
I got a question for Chris. Do you have one of those drones that like auto orbits you? Is that what that is?
I did end up getting one of them, the Hover X1.
Yeah.
Yeah, that thing's pretty cool. You program it to do everything you want it to do before you actually send it up. And then you don't have to do anything. And then whenever you put your hand out, it knows it's time to come back. So it'll come and land in your hand.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's cool. I hope when they bring it back out that like when the next model comes out, it'll actually be 4K because this one's only shooting in 2.7.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
this is one
so
I'm excited
I have
about.
the Mini 3. Yes, that's
that
cool.
Up yesterday. This thing should be a lot of fun.
Nice.
So this is the new...
I watch a lot of car videos, and a lot of car guys have it. I'll tell you what I got. Let's see here. So this is stupid cool. So it's the Insta360 Go. So this is the camera,
right?
And it's got a mount. You can put it in your cap. Also, it'll work like a GoPro. You can do selfie stuff with it.
Is a cap similar to a hat?
Ball cap, ball hat. What do you want to say?
A ball cap. Okay, I was just curious. I was trying to make sure I was following.
I'm not a haberdasher, so
interesting. I'm just throwing you off today, Rich. I apologize.
You just want to be the stick in my spokes, okay?
Yeah, go ahead. I'm not stopping.
Thank you for being.
It's funny you brought the comment thing up because I published the T-Saws unboxing video at 3:30, and my comments were turned off. I don't ever have to go in and turn my comments on; they're always on.
Yeah.
And then Joe from Shooting Gallery, he dropped his video earlier of the Stoeger versus Dagger, and his comments are turned off. Right
Interesting.
Now. Yeah. So
hit him up. Let him know, Rich, or I could let him know as well. That's crazy.
Yeah, I couldn't. All I have is his email. So if you guys got his number, you might want to let him know because his comments
I'm just looking at off. Where did I post a video?
It could be a bug. I'm sure there's no like big conspiracy of only gun guys, gun content all being censored at the same time and all having their comments shut down at the same time,
So looking at my short.
Yeah, because I had a hell of a time just finding out where to turn them back on because I've never had them just shut off before.
Yeah,
I had to go way down at the bottom of my studio app to
is that it?
Reactivate the comments.
Comments and ratings are on. Okay.
Yeah, first time for me as well. I've never had to do that ever.
Well, so here's the whole thing. As a gun guy, I think there's a lot of YouTube drama. And don't get me wrong, I think it's well deserving. But some people, just something stupid will happen and people are like, oh my God, YouTube's censoring me. It's like, nah, not so much. But I think this is probably an example of go fast and break things. That's the, Silicon Valley software development attitude is that, hey, keep deploying and, make new stuff work. And if it doesn't work or if it's broken, whatever, we'll fix it.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like they would ever openly come out against firearm content. I mean, that would be crazy.
Like 29.5 round magazines or anything like that. Like I had to pull all my PS90 content because, make brand.
Yeah, I just always get demonetized, so I don't think I count when I talk about this. I could say I have a 1 round magazine.
Yeah, I love guns that standard capacity magazines are 50 rounds. That's kind of nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that magazine thing, that drives me nuts too.
Yeah, well, like I deleted like 600 videos.
Standard capacity.
Yeah, I deleted so that was like 2 years ago, just around SHOT Show. I deleted like 600 videos off my channel because if you said like whoever.com, and you could get struck for that. So I was like, I know all of my lives I just talked about whatever website, so I just deleted every live I had.
Yeah, I mean, we always talk about PSA, we always talk about Brownells, we always talk about, even JSD, right? We for the longest
JSD,
time we
Gideon,
were like,
whoever.
oh, JSD had firearm products on there, and we didn't even think about that.
Right,
So
right.
I think a lot of the things like firearm content creators now, mostly I'm doing like live long form content, but for the most part, we don't intentionally try to break their TOS. It's just things kind of happen.
Yeah, so like for the longest time, I couldn't get anything green lighted. Everything was coming back after manual review. We're not monetizing this video.
Yep, limited, dude. If
So
I
then I
showed you,
started doing like right after the intro, I'd be like, okay, this, I'd show the guns clear, rack slide, no magazine, chamber's empty, blah blah blah. I had this whole spiel. Then boom, they started green lighting everything.
really,
And it's just like. Then it's like, okay, well, how many times in the video do I have to do it? Do I have to do it every time that like I show you something on the gun, or is it one time at the beginning good enough? It's like you can't get straight answers for anything.
Right. So. Well, and also I think an algorithm is an AI is looking at it. It's not a human, even though it says a human reviews your video.
Yeah, I mean, I would say in most cases, they're not going to give clear, straight answers. I'll do a 2.5, 3 hour, sometimes 3.5 hour stream, just talking about firearm related topics, and they'll can me, and then I'll post for a review, and they'll say, nope, your content is not safe for advertisers, and I mean, I can see the difference in the performance of the stream in the days after. The only people that definitely always come back are the same people. Like I said, Razor JB, he's part of like the replay mafia, where people always religiously come back because they can't be there the night before. They're there the next day. Night Custom Builds is always like enjoying this with my cup of coffee. Those guys are always going to come back, and I'm grateful for that, guys. Thank you. But just talking about stuff they don't like will get you canned as well, which is insanity to me. And clearly, like if we're I would just assume that most of us are practicing safely. Most of us, okay, I'm not saying everyone. So please, guys out there that are viewing this, please understand what I'm saying. Most of us, if we're doing a video on a firearm, in most cases we're going to be relatively safe. Okay, assume that I may have checked the firearm to make sure that I don't like I'm not sitting on the time bomb with my finger on the bang switch. Like, come on, even if I don't show the camera, assume that I've probably checked the firearm and know what condition it's in.
Right.
Well, so I used to do all of my videos like, and I just hated. I know. Tim Military Arms channel would always be like, oh, and for you safety Sallies, because he would get, I guess, people commenting like, oh, you didn't safety check it. I intentionally never safety checked a gun in my videos before
Dude,
doing
you know
video.
me. I'll literally hold it up to the camera and be like, don't worry, it's safe, and show the round in the chamber. Like I'm the worst when it comes to that. But I kind of
I want to shout out Coop, 25 months, dude.
Yeah, man.
Thank you, buddy.
Thank you.
Or Crump thanks you.
Coop's a great guy.
Yeah, man. Yep. He's awesome. And he puts a lot of hard work in on his channel. I don't think he gets the love back that that he deserves. Shout out to Polar Knights that said something like, great, now that Dark has some natural light coming in, I can tell that he's not Latino. I am indeed not Latino. Correct.
Wait. Babyface P's Latino.
Is that the same way that Homegirl is Cherokee? What's her name?
Ooh,
I'm gonna
Elizabeth
get me a
Warren?
beer. Yeah, Elizabeth Warren.
Oh God, that Eagle Run. What up,
Eagle
homeboy?
Run. Look what's in my background here, Eagle Run. Don't freak out. I'm just grabbing some coffee. Look at this. Texas Parks Outlet delicious coffee, which if you use code DARK, you can get a delicious sack of coffee. And by the way, this sack of coffee, whether you get beans or ground coffee, usually they're roasting this stuff like right before they send it out to you. So I had the first package I got, like it was roasted like 3 days before I got it. Dude, it was the freshest stuff out there. So if you want to support fellow gun builders like Eagle Run 2-3 and you want to support DLD, then go to Texas Parks Outlet, get some coffee.
There's going to be a rich dark coffee. There was some rumors that it was going to be a dark rich coffee. It's going to be a rich dark blend.
It can be. You can have that, Rich.
Yeah, Eagle Run's killing it, man. I think he's coming up on 50,000, and I'm glad to see him, man. He works his ass off.
He does. He's been doing like a video a day.
It was so cool too, because him and I both got out to shot a couple days early. So him and I we took the wives and we went out to dinner and went out and had a couple drinks. So it was a lot of fun getting to hang out with him one night. So,
oh, nice.
Super cool guy.
Link the coffee pack. I think it's in my description. Hold on. I'll put it here.
Drop it in the comments. Isn't it great to be able to like pimp somebody's product and not worry about YouTube hating on you?
Yeah, it's funny
because
how that
it's
works.
coffee.
Yeah, and people have been buying it. People are like, "Yo, this is actually really good."
Oh, hold on.
Okay, Texas Park Outlet.
Tell her I said hi, Eagle Run.
My wife's telling me I gotta go.
What?
Yeah. I'm like, hey, I'm gonna run this till 6, maybe leave 10 minutes early. She's like, no, I need gas. We gotta go.
Do you need 30-minute gas? I mean, we can we can run it. Do your thing.
Yeah, I kind of feel like Chris, I am so sorry.
No, you're fine.
I wanted to get you on the show, want to talk about all sorts of stuff. You do great videos and great content, but I'll be on Chris's show on Thursday night. So
nice.
So thank you for the invite on your show. Thank you for coming on here. And Dark is a very good stand-in for John Crump, and he'll take good care of you and the guests.
Appreciate it. We all remember what it was like when we used to let women run our lives. So we get it.
I'll see you, Rich.
All right, Rich. See ya. Here we go. Finally, exactly how we intended. Just you and I. Yeah, so you've been doing a lot of content, and I like how you've been focusing instead of just doing one video on one gun. You've been diving super deep and doing several videos on each, on the same gun over and over, and I like seeing that. I did not see one more content creator drop more videos on the 22 Magnum Smith & Wesson M&P. That thing was crazy. So kind of talk about like your idea with like dropping these different videos and some of the things you're doing with your channel.
I kind of, I know a lot of people don't like that. They just want the 10-minute, just get it all done. I want the unboxing, review, everything in one video. But for me, like, I just kind of based it off the way I used to like to watch my videos. Like, I wanted to know as much about that firearm or that optic as I could.
Yeah.
The M&P was cool because, like, I had subscribers sending me ammo for it. Like, they were like, well, I want to see if it'll run this. So I'm getting like ammo sent here to the house.
Nice.
And so it just became this fun thing of, okay, let's take this box 50 out to the range. We'll see if it, because when you buy that gun, like Smith & Wesson has a list on their website of recommended ammo and ammo they don't recommend.
Yeah.
So the game was, let's take all the ammo they don't recommend and let's see if it'll actually run. And a lot of it did. So
yeah,
that gun was just kind of fun for me. It was the first 22 mag I owned. And then I didn't know if I was going to like it. And then once I got it and I got it to the range, I'm like, I love this thing. And then, which made me end up buying another. Now I got an AR chambered in 22 mag. So
nice. I didn't know about the AR. That's cool. It's a cool cartridge. It's a lot of people think that it's like an anemic cartridge, but man, 22 Magnum, especially out of a rifle, is capable of dropping some I think people would be surprised if they saw the type of small game that a 22 mag could drop.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's a cool round. It gets expensive buying it. I hate it when I got to shoot ammo I can't reload. So it's kind of been the downside of it, but but yeah, it's a fun round, and it's box 50. You can still get it for about price of 9 mil. So it's not like it's overly stupid expensive.
I mean, dude, I like seeing what you're doing with kind of maximizing videos off of each platform, and you're doing it in a way where it's not like boring, so I commend you for what you're doing. And Eagle Run here says Chris has a great formula, does a great job. There you go. DLD, you send overseas from the coffee page. What? Okay, maybe did I send the wrong page? Hold on. Texas Parks Outlet. Yeah, Texas Parks Outlet. It should be, it's right here. Hold on, maybe I hit a here you go. Maybe I fat fingered it or something like that. And there you go. If you use code DARK, you save money. And I mean, guys, mostly that's to support Eagle Run. It's I think one thing that our community has not done very well is support each other in. They've competed against each other instead of competed with each other, and it's a totally different spirit. And I think all of us, especially gun builders, and we're less than 3% of the whole industry, so we need to support each other. And when I heard that he was doing coffee, it was like, man, we taking market share from particular large 2A coffee companies would be something that I am more than happy to do. So show him the love. Moving to the new range was a great play. Content upgrade. Nice. Yeah, and you've been doing a lot of dude. That wall is incredible. So, what inspired you to make the changes there? Just kind of wanting to set up a new background for the live shows, or?
So yeah, that wall's been done for quite a while, but when I first started doing the live shows, there just wasn't anything back there. So I was like, so this house, when I bought this house, this studio that I'm in now, this was a room addition they built on the back of the house, but they never finished it. So it's just kind of a blank canvas back here. I could do whatever I wanted with it.
Nice.
So just kind of came up with an idea. I like it. Sometimes I've thought about like putting the black tactical racks and all that in, but then it's like, that's really not me either. I'm not the big tactical guy. So
yeah,
it's like, I like the way it turned out.
Dude, I think it looks great. I think it's clean, and it puts your firearms on front and center display. I love the neon sign. Did you get that custom made?
Yeah, the wife had it made. I know it was she got it out of New York somewhere. It was kind of wild how that sign. So when it got delivered to the house, it said right down the whole box, do not set it upright. It has to lay flat. So the FedEx guy leans it right up against the garage door and it breaks in half.
Oh.
So she got a hold of the guy that she bought it from, and he said, send me a couple pictures. And we sent him pictures. He got it back with us and he said, that's fine. He goes, I have it insured. So he goes, I'll just send you out another one. I'll get reimbursed. And we're like, well, what do you want to do with the old one? Because it still worked. It was just broken half.
Yeah.
And he goes, just keep it. So I was like, cool. So I took that one down and put So that one's in my reloading room when you walk into it. So
nice.
So I ended up with 2 signs for the price of one, which was pretty awesome.
Dude, if when we wrap up, if you could shoot me the name of the company, that'd be awesome. I've been toying with the idea of getting a a DLD neon sign for the back. So I'm working on a new wall to any of my viewers that are in here. You don't know because I haven't talked about it yet, but I'm actually looking at doing a gun wall behind me, and I was considering doing they call it like barnwood or driftwood or something like that, but it's kind of like weathered wood slat wall, and putting up racks just like that, and throwing up some ARs and pistols, and I'd have a tough time getting rid of the P80 wall because I love the P80 wall, even though I never really completely finished it. It's it's close enough to being done. But yeah, I love that look. It's clean, and the touch of the neon sign is dope. But yeah,
You're gonna
so
have to have a few P80 boxes behind you. That's your signature there.
yeah, I think I may do like so there's a couple things. One, the company Savior that makes like Savior bags and
Oh yeah.
gun bags and stuff. So they make Savior like tactical slat wall,
Mm-hmm.
and it looks like you're saying, like I'm not trying to go for like the super high speed operator look. I just want a cool, classy looking way to put guns on the wall, And I was looking around though, and I found that Savior makes slat wall, and they have like OD green, flat dark earth, black, and I was like, oh man, that's kind of tempting to do something like that. But I'll probably do the wood like that, and then maybe I'll just do like PD boxes like around it or something like that. So
Yeah.
we'll see.
I love Savior Equipment. I've been working with them now for about a year. They've been really good to me. They've sent me a lot of stuff.
Nice.
I like that at SHOT Show they've got the new stand that if you're into the vests and the night vision and the helmets, they got the whole like mannequin stand, and you can put all your gear on it.
Dude,
And
I so need one of those. If anyone came into my gun room, they would see I literally have like my pistol belt hanging on like a wreath rack, like one of those like little wreath hangers. And then I have my helmet hanging on the corner of my I totally need one of those. That's I saw Clint from Classic Firearms literally built one out of like 4x4s and 2x4s. And I was like, man, I may do that, but then life happens.
Yeah. One car's, if you don't mind, I'm going to answer his question. He said,
Yeah,
how
please.
is the T-Saws? So far, it's good. I took it to the range Thursday. I shot about 250 rounds through it. I kind of cut it off at that point because I don't have the optic yet. The optic will be here tomorrow. So going to get the optic mounted on it tomorrow and then get it back out this weekend and probably run about another 500 rounds through it so we can get a review video up on it. But yeah, so far, it's pretty hard to beat for the price. There's no MIM parts in it. It's a really nice gun. Runs on checkmate mags, so they're not too horribly expensive.
Runs on, sorry, what kind of mags?
It runs on the checkmate mags, so you can.
Okay.
I think you can pick them up. Well, we shouldn't be talking prices on here, but
yeah, that's all right.
They're not like MBX or prices. They're down there.
More affordable.
Yeah.
So what is your typical process if you're reviewing something and you're putting out a couple videos? What's the usual process you would go through for, say, like a handgun?
I'll go to I like to sit down. Like, I hate making unboxing videos. Those are probably the most boring thing to do. I want to get like all the specs and everything out of the way in that video. And then I'll always link that in the description. So if somebody wants to go back and get all the specs, because when I hit the gun range, I just want to shoot the hell out of the gun. Like, I don't want to be sitting there going over specs. And
Yeah.
So I'll do a lot of research. Like I'll go to the website first, just get all the basic, length, heights, widths, get all that stuff done out of the way.
Yeah.
But it's all learning experience. Like I'm not even I haven't even got to my third year doing this yet. So like now what I'm starting to do is to get these videos kind of cut down a little shorter. I'm basically putting the specs up on the screen, and that way people can pause it. And then that's now I'm able to cut these unboxing videos down even more, especially since because a lot of people that bores the shit out of them to watch one, and it kind of bores me too making them. I'm not, but I like to get all that out of the way, and then I just kind of start focusing on, okay, we're going to the range. What do we want to do? Like, are we taking the drones? Are we gonna? How many cameras are we gonna run? And because that's when I kind of start getting excited about the videos. Like, okay, a lot of times I'll sit, because I do competition shooting. I shoot a lot of USPSA, so now that I have the new range, I have free reign to do whatever I want on the new range. Now where I'm allowed to shoot steel, I can put walls up. So I'll kind of sit down and start drafting out a walls, how I want to set them up. If I want to shoot through a port, do I want to drag the VTAC wall out and set it up? So it's every video is different. There's some that it's just kind of like, okay, hey, I'm just going to go out and do this. Then there's other things I get where I'm like, okay, I want to get a little more elaborate this time. Maybe we'll add a couple more cameras in and set some more stuff up. So
do you have like a round count that you usually run through? Like, or are you like, okay, I'm gonna hit 500 rounds through this, or 300 or two? Like, what's your threshold usually?
Like if I really like the product, I want to get it out to 1,000 for sure. Most of the guns that I do the reviews on, they'll always end up getting 1,000 round review at least.
Nice.
So like normally, like a lot of the guns, like the T-Saws, I just took it right out of the box. I tore it down, I cleaned and lubed it, and I took it to the range just like it is in the box. Iron sights, no optic on it. Normally in that video, I'll run some factory ammo through it because I know that most people that are going to be watching my videos, they don't reload.
Yeah.
So they're going to want to see you run some CCI through it and some, Remington and some cheap Winchester because they want to see it choke. If it's going to choke, it's going to choke on some cheap Winchester white box or something like that. So try to get all the factory ammo ran through it in the first video. Then when I take it out to the range for the review, then I'm probably strictly going to be running on reloads at that point. But
gotcha.
I shoot on a minimum week for me. I'm going to go through 500 rounds of ammo.
Gotcha.
So, and I don't want to buy 500 rounds factory ammo every week. So for me, it's a constant. Like I got 1,000 9mm sitting down there right now that are ready to reload. So tonight at some point I'll go down there and knock out 300 or 400 of those 1,000 rounds tonight. But I think last year, 23, I was over 40,000 rounds for the year of not just of everything. But that's a lot of freaking ammo, and it's just constantly reloading.
Yeah, it's a lot, man. One of the things I was going to ask next was ballpark, how many rounds are you cranking out? And is it mostly like standard ammo, like 9mm, 5.56? Or are you cranking out some other like Wildcat stuff too?
Yeah, so the 9mm, I run all that on a progressive press because I got to get it done as fast as I can. So now this year I had to switch up my recipe because I started really getting into comps and running comps on the pistols. So I needed to get a little more powder in the cartridges to get everything to run. So those are all pretty much the same bullet, same powder, and that press is just set to run that specific ammo. my problem here the last few weeks, because I had the new Anderson sent out the new Frontline 16, and then I had a Cox Arms rifle sent here from RTT to do a review on. Then I had the new Panzer from Monstrum come in. Then, this thing I love.
Yeah.
So there was all this, like, I was starting to burn through a ton of 223.
Yeah.
So at some point we're going to have to add another press and start running 223 on a progressive, because I'm loading all that on a turret press right now, and it takes forever.
Wow.
Because normally I'll sit down, I do 500 rounds of 223.
Mm-hmm.
But if I could do that on a progressive, I'm going to cut my time in half. So I think I'm going to set up a dedicated machine just to load 223 with.
I've always been curious about reloading, and I basically, in almost every other sense, I build like everything that I can, and I'm not like I'm like the, huge DIY guy, but like if I can, I would love to build even for the sake of building, right? As opposed to just buying everything and, being wasteful and just, I feel like so much of us are just stuck in this like world of consumerism and just consume, consume, consume. So I'm like, man, screw that. If I can go, and do something myself, whether it's building a gun or building, a shelf for ammo or like, whatever it is, right? If I can just go buy parts and then build something, like hell yeah. But I look at ammunition the same way. Like I have only been buying ammo and I haven't been, reloading at all, but it's always been something I've been super, super curious about. And most reloaders have told me, if you're just running 9mm and 5.56, you're not going to get much, enjoyment out of it. You're not going to save much money. There's really no point to it. What's your thought on that?
I agree with it to an extent. Like the 9mm does get very monotonous, but on the other hand, it's fun to actually sit down and develop a whole new 9mm round too. Because there's, you go get you some hollow points and play around with some 90 grainers and get those things up, 1,500 feet per second. So that's the part of reloading that I enjoy, is especially if you get a new gun, you're going to tailor a new round for it. 223 making my bulk rounds, it's boring. Like you got this one bullet and one powder charge you use, but there's so many other 223 rounds you can make. And that's what I enjoy, is going down there and just like setting up for. There was a new bullet. Like I'm in the process now of messing around with these 90 grain Hornady XTPs, and I mean you can get these things scooting.
Now, are those like 380 projectiles, or those actual 9mm?
Yeah, they're actual 9mm projectiles.
Really interesting. And they're 90 grain. Wow.
Yeah,
that's interesting. I know that there's always a wide range of grain weight and projectiles, but 90, that's pretty light.
Yeah.
My 7-year-old is texting me on mommy's phone. Sorry.
It's just like everything else, though. If you got the time, a lot of people just don't have the time to do it. I mean, it's finding the time.
I would struggle with that.
Working, if you work a full-time job, or I own a plumbing company, so that takes up a lot of my time. And then I got, then you're doing the YouTube thing, and then you're trying to get all the ammo reloaded to do it on YouTube. So
yeah, man. I think the timepiece would be one of the biggest things that I would struggle with, which has also been something that's kind of kept me out of it. Even just running DLD hardware and getting all those packages out every day and doing everything else and keeping up with guests on the show and doing the shows and doing the Uncensored podcast and doing John Crump Live and doing it's like, man, it's I'm running out of and being the whole, dad and
and then being a dad
and
and
stuff, that's And goodness gracious, gymnastics, soccer, swim. I'm like, for real? Like, come on. But I've been trying to make a point to go out shooting more. And one of the things that has been tough for me is I don't have a place that I can just go out to and do shooting outdoors, which is a huge piece of, content. It is a game changer. If you're making content and you just go out to an indoor range and do video of you in an indoor lane, just pow, pow, pow. It's, in my opinion, stupid and boring. You can get away with it in some cases, but for the most part, it's kind of boring. Being able to go out and shoot, and like you're doing next level stuff with drones and multiple cameras, and you're definitely taking it a cut above, which I appreciate. But I finally found a dude relatively local to me that was like, you do YouTube, you do gun stuff, dude, you're more than welcome to come out to my range. And I was like, yes. So soon enough, DLD will be able to go out and start
That's
doing
awesome.
some outdoor shooting. So it's just a game changer.
It is. And that, like the old range that I was at where I've been filming for the last 2 years, we weren't allowed. I don't want to say we weren't allowed to set up steel, but I don't, they kind of frowned upon it. And the other thing was you got to park 100 yards away from the range. So it's like, I don't want to be carrying steel plates and all that. So,
yeah.
So the new range now where I've been filming for the last 2.5 months, I guess it has been, is actually one of the places where I shoot competition. So they have the actual competition bays with dirt all the way around you.
Oh, wow.
And so I went over and had a talk with them, and I said, man, is there, and I'll join the club, I'll donate time, help you guys with whatever I can, but would you guys let me come over here and start filming in a competition bay? And it's so nice because I can just back my truck right into the bay, start unloading stuff, and then nobody's allowed in there with me. So that was the downside to the other range. It was a member range, but kind of public at the same time. And people started showing up. I just had to start tearing camera equipment down and leave. And there were days like it would take me 3 days in a row to finish one video, where now I can go do 5 videos a day, get all the raw footage filmed and then bring it home. And then I got all the time in the world to edit.
Yeah.
So
that's awesome. Now, what about for, I don't think I've ever, you may have mentioned this before when we've been on each other's shows, but as far as like EDC, what are you typically carrying nowadays?
So for the last 5 years, I've been carrying a 365 XL.
Okay.
And, but I'm getting ready to switch that out for the Ross Martin now. I've got it.
Really?
Yeah, I've got 800 rounds through it now. I'm waiting to we haven't had a hiccup yet. So once I take it out and do the 1,000 round review, as long as there's no more issues with it or no issues with it, then that'll end up being my new carry gun. I love that gun.
Are you familiar with, and I've been really curious about getting my hands on one of those too. Are you familiar with the tactical turkeys? Yeah. So Dust and some of the turkeys just got a Ross Martin. And from the box, no cleaning, no oiling, no maintenance, no nothing. Took it right to the range, and over, I think 2, maybe 3 days, they put 1,000 rounds through it, and they got to like 1,050 rounds through it. The whole process, no cleaning, no oiling, no maintenance, no nothing, and it ran 100%, except right after 1,000 rounds, between round count 1,000 and 1,050, it had one failure to eject, which, looking at it, it was whatever it was, the other round, it was more like a stovepipe, because the other round was like being fed in, and the casing got like clipped as it was closing. So really you would have just had to whack that thing out of there like a stovepipe and kind of been right back at it. But I mean, that's a great outcome for 1,050 rounds with no maintenance at all. I'm really curious about the Ross Martin. So you've had a really good experience with it?
Yeah. I ended up we put the last video we did, we took it out and we ran nothing but defense ammo through it. So we were running federal law enforcement. Yeah, we ran like 5 different factory concealed carry defense rounds, whatever you want to call them. And then I make my own defense ammo too. So we brought out 2 or 3 different kinds of it and ran it through. Because I actually had a guy, one of my subscribers, he left a comment saying it was choking on a certain kind of federal ammo. And I thought, okay, well, I didn't have the exact ammo he was talking about, but I had it was a federal round that he was talking about. And I had the federal law enforcement, but they use the exact same bullet. So then I went on their website to see if there was a difference in the powder charges, and there wasn't. I took it out. I had no issues with it. So, you know,
do you know if it was like the 9B or 9BP, not the BPLE, but like something like that?
Ah, man.
If not, it's okay. I was just curious.
Yeah, so that was my thing, was because the ammo he was talking about was nothing I could get around here. But I had bought a bunch of the law enforcement. There he goes. Brandon got it. Thank you, Brandon.
Yeah, the HST.
So the federal law enforcement, they use the same HST bullet. So I got on there to see if maybe they were using a different powder charge or whatever. But on the specs on the federal website, it was basically the same exact ammo.
Yeah, the HSTs it's some pretty nasty stuff. It's usually what, actually, you know what? That's what I got right here, HSTs.
Yeah.
And in my, that's a 365 mag. It's just one I had right in front of me. But right here though, I have I'm carrying a 43X. This stuff is the federal BPLE, which is this is 20 plus 1. It is the 115 grain plus P plus. That stuff is cooking, dude. It's like pushing over 1,400 feet per second, and it's just mean stuff. But also, it's you got to prepare for that. If for anyone out there that wants to go get some, oh man, that's super crazy fast, hard hitting ammo. It transfers a buttload of energy. Yes, and you start shooting a little bit higher, right? You'll notice some differences when when you guys go out there and run some. Plus, BPLE is really tough to get, but yeah, I mean, being able to just run different types of ammo through it. We had a conversation recently about like what when let's say you get a carry gun, right, and or a new gun that you intend to carry in the future, and you're going to do a break-in period or like an EDC check, like how many rounds do you run through it? We had a bunch of different people say a bunch of different things, and previous to something that happened more recently, I usually would say or early on, I'd say like I'll run like 250 rounds through it. If it runs like 250 rounds with 0 malfunctions, I'm good. But then I was like, it's not really enough, right? And it's not really specific enough. So I kind of switched up my thinking and I said, okay, I'm going to run 400 rounds through it of FMJ ammo. And then I'm going to run maybe 1 to 200 rounds of jacketed hollow points. I kind of landed on 200. So 600 rounds total. But then I got this Shadow Systems XR920C, and I said, you know what? Because this is like $1,000 Glock, usually dudes can go get a Glock for $500, right? I was like, I want to see if the price tag and everything that comes with it is worth the difference between an OEM Glock and a Shadow Systems XR920, whatever, Shadow Systems, which range from like $899 to $1099. So usually I would put like 600 rounds through it. But I was like, in this case, from the factory, I'm going to do no cleaning, no lube, no maintenance, nothing at all. And I'm going to run it to failure. So I ran it to, right now it's at like 1,080 rounds. And at round count number like 648, I just had a massive failure where there was a burr that like snapped off of the rear rail, and it just embedded itself in the back of the slide rails, and it was just like choking, man. It was like it was so bad. And I ended up breaking it down, taking it out, getting it out, without cleaning or maintaining it. No, I didn't add any lube. I didn't do anything else. I just made sure the burr was out, that it was safe. But I mean, originally, like, if I hit 600 rounds, I would have put that thing in my waistband and just keep going. Like, who knows if I was in a self-defense encounter, my gun basically, had some type of mechanical failure or stopped working, like, that would have been crazy. So maybe, just maybe, 1,000 rounds is like the new break-in period to be certain that your gun is going to perform, effectively.
Yeah. That was the biggest disappointment for me with the SIG was I pre-ordered the 365 XL when I knew it was getting ready to come out, because the 365 just never fit my hand very well, because I'm a pretty big dude. So when I knew the XL was coming out, I'm like, okay, I'm going to get it. I pre-ordered it, and I didn't even get to 100 rounds, and I had to send it back to SIG.
Oh, wow.
And
what was it?
The guide rod, I noticed when I got it home and tore it down, the guide rod was slightly bent. And so I sent it back to SIG, and they ended up putting a new guide rod and spring in it. And then they actually sent me another one. And that kind of freaked me out a little bit too, because I'm like, okay, why did you send me a backup one, And so then I was like, I took that gun out and I ran 1,000 rounds through it. And this was long before I, was doing YouTube or anything, but I was a little leery of it, because I was like, well, it didn't even make it to 100 rounds and I'm sending it back.
Yeah.
But once I got it back, it runs good. And I mean, I've shot that gun probably more than any of my other pistols, because it's always on me. So when I'm at the range filming reviews on other stuff and doing whatever, it's always there. And I want to get, I'll run a couple mags through it just because I'll knock my carry ammo out of it, throw some of my reloads in it, and just shoot it just because I want to stay
proficient with it.
Yeah. So
good for you.
It's a great gun. I don't have anything bad to say about it. Like I said, I've carried it for 5 years now, but I'm just ready for something different. And the Ross Martin fits my hand a little better than the 365. And
that's what I was going to ask. Like, what was it specifically about the Ross Martin? Is it just the ergonomics, or is it something else?
Yeah, it's kind of got the Glock 19 feel to it, I guess. I like that. Sure. I've always been a big fan of not so much the actual Glock 19, but the clones of the 19. It's just, it's kind of that sweet spot right in the middle gun.
Yeah.
It's kind of, to me, it's just kind of more of a refined 19. It's got a little bit better trigger in it. And it's just damn reliable. I've run so many different kinds of ammo through it, and it just, I don't know. It's just a gun. I shoot it well, and I like seeing a new company come out of nowhere too, like this, and actually be putting a mark on things. So
I mean, they came out like in January. I mean, they just hit the ground running, and they've been doing well. Eagle Run says, meanwhile, my micro dagger is 250 out of 250. Sig, where you at? Yeah, I've heard a lot of people having some issues with some of the micro daggers too. I'm not saying all micro daggers have issues. I'm saying I've heard some people say that some of their micro daggers have issues. So I'm glad to hear Eagle Run is not having those issues. Good, Rich. I'm glad that you got gas and are heading to dinner. And you're welcome. I received your text. Thank you. Dark, have you invested in Glock horse team? No, not yet. I'll kind of see where the market is going there. What about going back to EDC? What about for knives? Are you a knife guy, or do you just kind of carry whatever works, or do you usually carry a knife?
I carry a knife every day at work, but I actually carry one of the outdoor edge knives that I change blades out on.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I cut so much cardboard in a day's time, cutting water heaters out of boxes and stuff. So it's just, and I suck at sharpening knives.
If you
I've
had
got
a
the fancy Ken Onion, whatever the thing is. It looks like the little belt sander and all that, but it's just,
yeah.
I swear, I bought one of those knives like 5 years ago, and I'm like, I'm not going back. I mean, I have knives. I'm just not a knife guy.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm one of those guys. I'll be at the gun store or something, and I'll see something cool in the display case, and I'm like, yeah, I might buy that and take that home. But yeah, I don't think you'll probably ever see me doing knife reviews on my channel. I just don't know enough about them.
Dude, I love knives.
Oh yeah, they're cool.
Yeah, I think it's most gun guys appreciate knives, but I've noticed it in some cases. Knife guys, when I'm like, oh cool, are you also into guns? Some of them have been like, guns, those are dangerous. I'm like, what? You have a lethal weapon like right here, like what do you think this is, dude? But I do see a lot more cross like viewership between knife and gun guys than or gun and gun guys that like knives and whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and it's funny too because like some of my favorite channels to watch are the knife channels. It's like I'm not
really?
into them, but I like watching like the guys showing off all these new knives. Like I always
Yeah.
watch EDC for fun. I love his channel. I love watching all the new knives he gets.
Nice.
And now Gizzard Gary, he's doing a lot of knife stuff. So it's cool.
Yeah, yeah. It's easy I mean, just like any other equipment, it's just something that's like, it's another piece of equipment, it's another tool, and there's always different roles for different tools, and kind of having like I've stacked up a nice little knife collection, and I'm like, well, this one is for this kind of stuff, and these ones are for these kinds of things, and so I was just curious. Do you carry anything else on you, like flashlight, pepper spray, anything? As I guess working in plumber type stuff, do you have a flashlight on you usually?
Oh yeah, I always have a flashlight.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get burned for saying this, but
Oh.
the one I've been carrying a lot here lately is the Olight Arcfeld. I absolutely love that light. It's that real little thin, like square light. I can't count how many times I've dropped that down in a sump pit or whatever. That thing just keeps on chugging. So
Really.
yeah, I got a new one. I think Nightcore just sent here. I haven't got it out. It's the new. That's kind of the new thing now. Everybody's going to these like super flat flashlights. But yeah, I've been carrying that Arcfeld for probably a year now. It's just trash. The paint's about all chipped off of it now, and
Yeah.
I'm not much of. Never really been much of. I got a couple of their lights that you put on guns, but I've never really been. I tend to go more towards Streamlight and the Phoenix for my firearms, but yeah, I've really enjoyed that little light. But yeah, I always carry that, and I carry I can't even think of the name of my Leatherman that I carry now. Have been carrying a long time. I always have a multi tool on me during the day.
Yeah. So, dude, they're so handy, so handy.
Yeah.
Have you messed with the goon beams at all?
I haven't, but I like the fact that the one light that they have is the same exact. It fits the holsters of the TLR1 HL.
Yeah, dude. I'd be happy to connect you with Goon Beam. He's a great dude. He's one of us, and he could definitely hook you up.
Yeah, we could do that. Yeah, I've watched Joe. Joe did that video on. You kind of have your own like signature light too with those them, don't you?
Yeah. I got it's kind of like the TLR shape pistol light. It's got the DLD on there, and then also a rifle light, which is reminiscent of certain um, uh, other brands, but these ones were a kind of crazy idea. We were like, "Yo, let's make blue lights for blue glowies, like blue DLD." And then they also did a green one for the tactical turkeys, and they did a red one, I think, for MD Arsenal. And dude, these things are it's like so trippy just to have like the shadow be like
Blue.
the opposite of like it's just it's so trippy. It's
Yeah.
yeah. Um but yeah, Goombeam is one day, and I believe this to be true, one day people are gonna be like all these other companies like Surefire and Streamlight and Olight, all these other companies are gonna be like, damn this Goombeam guy, he's definitely gonna be a serious contender in the future when he kind of expands outside of the gun builder community because again it's less than 3% of the industry, so
Yeah.
it's it's a small percentage, but one
Yeah,
day.
I know my buddy Devin runs the Goon Beam stuff from Spectre Solutions. I know
Nice.
he's a fan of them.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Spectre Solutions is awesome. He's a good dude. And dude, he's doing a lot of IR stuff too, like IR lights that are like crazy, crazy powerful for what they are. And there's I forgot what they're called, but it's basically like an IR like white laser that's not quite a laser to be used for like a laser aiming module with night vision, but there's just a bunch of crazy stuff that they're doing. And one day when I get my whole nods kit, I'll be able to actually take advantage of this night vision stuff that I got. But yeah, I'll connect you guys, man. He's a really good dude.
cool. And then I can talk him into making a little flat square
There you
rectangle
go.
light.
Yeah, yeah. The cool thing is that I mean, having somebody like that, it's cool. Like to call one day and be like, "Yo, I love your stuff, but like, what if it was blue?" And he's like, "Let's fucking do it,"
Mhm.
like it's cool to have somebody like almost like a local butcher, like, "Hey, what if we," and then they just cut you whatever piece you want. It's cool. So, well, what are the best ways right now that people can support you? Is it through YouTube, Instagram, all the above?
Yeah, I'm real active on Instagram. I'm on there all daily basis. It's
Hmm.
just Chris from the 740 over on Instagram. Same on YouTube. Same on Facebook. And I do have an X. I need to do more with it. It's not getting a lot of traction over there. And
I feel you. I got a couple X's too. Oh, you mean the app? Okay. Yeah, 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 yeah.
yeah,
Just kidding. I'm
yeah,
joking.
no,
Yeah.
I know what you're saying.
Yeah. The Tweeter X or whatever. I don't do much there too. So maybe we can help each other. But yeah, guys, make sure you go show some love. If you have not subscribed to Chris from the 740, you need to, not only for his super dope live shows but also for his hard videos, the uploads that he does. They're great. It's a tremendous deep dive into firearms. Usually, dudes will do a 10-minute video. He's put out a lot more content with great video with drones and multiple angles and really good content. So show him some love. Subscribe to his YouTube and just drop some comments on some of his videos like DLD sent me, John Crump sent me, and then maybe go over to his Instagram and drop him what we call a like bomb, which is go follow his IG and then hit like 10 of his most recent pictures with a like, show him some love, show him the power of our community. So,
Man,
yeah.
this is awesome, man. I always enjoy sitting down with you and talking. So this was cool. It worked out this way today.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. It's cool. Oh, and look at this, man. Kurt, thank you for being a super, super helpful mod. Sport Brain, what's up, brother? Good to see you. And Johnny Barr just dropped your link too, so you guys can just have a super, super. Hey, and look, and Kurt just dropped the Instagram. So there you go. Super 2 clicks, you guys. All you got to do is click, and show some love. And yeah, I agree, man. We need to do more together too. We need to, come on each other's shows and stuff. So we'll definitely set something up to get back on each other's calendar soon.
Yeah, man. Thank you. Awesome.
Yeah, man. Hell yeah, thank you. And everyone in chat, make sure that you guys go over, show him some love on YouTube and Instagram, and maybe even X too. You may see some stuff from him on X if you guys hit him up there. And Chris, thank you again. Stick around for just a sec, and we'll catch you guys later. And does he have? I think he has an outro on here. Let's see if we can run this. No, that's the intro. Is it this one?